Alex, thanks for doing this interview. I want to tell everybody how I first got to meet you. And that was last week. I was presenting the Can I Kiss You program on your campus at Berry College. And you were about to go on stage and introduce me. And the advisor for your peer health educators, Marshall, said, "Hey, Mike, I gotta tell you about this woman who's about to introduce you. It's an amazing story. She's an incredible person. You got to hear about her." And he goes on to tell me this incredible difference you've made in the state of Georgia, including having a law put into place inspired by something that happened to a family member. And that's where Marshall's like, wow, you two come from a very similar place, being inspired by something that happened to a family member or occurred to a family member. And so I'm going to let you go from there, Alex, if you want to give everybody a little brief background.
Okay. Well, I have two brothers, but my older brother, Caleb, in 2009, he was a freshman in college, and he was attending North Georgia College, and he was back for his winter break. So after his first semester, he had finished his first semester, loved college, enjoyed it, had the best time of his life. And he was on his way to meet a friend in Athens, which is not far from where we live. And he was texting while he was driving. He was texting his friend to tell her where he was. And while he was sending this text message, he looked down at his phone and at some point swerved into the other lane and hit another car head on. And the car he hit was an SUV type car pulling a horse trailer. And both of them, neither of them were speeding. They were both going the speed limit. But the way the crash happened, it killed my brother instantly. And so he lost his life on December 16th, just 9 days before Christmas. But we were very, very empowered to do something about it because we didn't know, that texting while driving was completely dangerous. And I don't think my brother knew the dangers of it. And, in order to make it a possibility for no one else to have to lose their brother like we did without knowing and without having any idea, we wanted to do something about it. So we started with the law and started getting people, going to the Capitol multiple times to try and get this law passed. And it was a struggle, but we finally got the law passed in less than 6 months after my brother died, actually.
That is amazing. And the law's named after your brother. It's Caleb's Law.
Yes, sir.
In Georgia. And the reason this is even more extraordinary is I got home 2 days after being on your campus, and I'm back in Wisconsin. And I'm watching TV in the evening, and suddenly this commercial comes on, and it's your voice. And I'm like yelling in my house, "Oh my gosh, I know her. She just introduced me." And they start to say, "My brother." And I'm going, "It's definitely her. It's definitely her." And it's telling the story of Caleb's Law. So the other question I have is, you went from creating a law in Georgia to this nationally shared public service announcement. How did that come about?
Well, I went to speak. Really kind of how it happened was after we got the law passed, I think we kind of realized that, okay, the law, we got that passed and that's under our belts. But now, not everybody knows. Even though it's a law, not everyone knows that it's dangerous. Not everyone knows that they need to follow this law. So we kind of took it under and decided, now we need to teach people about this. So I started going around and speaking, and I spoke at high schools and at conferences, and I got invited to a National Highway Safety Conference in Arizona. And I met a lady named Jennifer Smith. And so I started working with her, and she ended up working with AT&T's It Can Wait campaign. And they were looking for people to make, young people, like teenagers, that were, they wanted to make a video about them. MTV was going to produce it, and they were going to make it and show it on all of MTV's channels. And so she said, "I know this girl that you need to get in touch with her because this happened to her, and she's made a difference afterwards." And so I got in contact with them. And so it kind of just all blossomed from really basically us just realizing that, yeah, we got this law passed, and that's really great, but we still have to do more. And knowing that even when we do more, we still have to do more. So I think it just blossomed from that. And we just want to get the word out no matter what way it is. We just need to get it out there. So
recently, Alex, I was talking to somebody, and they said, good people attract good people. And I think you are a classic example of that, because here you were just doing what you believed in, and it provided an opportunity on a national, really global scale with MTV, global scale that you weren't even looking for. But yet it popped right out there. So I want to go back to help our followers, our viewers, understand a little bit. You got a law put in place in 6 months. So did you immediately connect with a state senator or a state congressperson that fought with you? How did you get that started?
Actually, my grandma, she went to the senator for her district and asked him to draft this bill. And once he drafted the bill, put his name on it, and it went into Congress. Really, then it kind of fell on our shoulders because then, of course, he did his job and presented it to the senators and representatives and all the committee meetings. But my high school started taking people. I started taking groups of students to the Capitol a lot of times and lobbying for this law, which it really is empowering even to those huge names up at the Capitol, senators and representatives who, we don't even compare to. We're just high school students. It makes a big difference to see that high schoolers are coming and they're passionate about something.
Well, but let's pause there. Like you said, a lot of people would say to themselves, "Well, I'm not a senator. I'm not somebody at that level." But you proved we are all, right? You're a human being who cares. So
that's right.
People listening to this have to realize there's no such thing as they're above me, at all when you care about an issue.
It's true. Yeah, and I think just our passion, just the fact that we were in high school and we cared enough about this to go out of our way and talk to these people who obviously we weren't comfortable talking to. It was very intimidating, but we did it anyway because we were passionate about it, and it really struck those senators and representatives. And it was very empowering to be able to do that, especially at a young age, to know that if you're passionate about something, if you try hard and you really, really set your mind to it, you can get a lot done. You really can.
Well, and you have. You're a shining example of that. And a neat thing, when we were at dinner that night, it was the peer educators and myself, and you're one of the peer educators. We're all having dinner. And I said, "What do you want to do after this?" And actually what I said to everybody is, "What do you want to do after college?" And you said, "Well, I don't really know." And I said, "Why aren't you speaking?" And your answer was just so brilliant. You said, "Yeah, Mike, I love speaking about what I'm speaking about, but hopefully I create so much change that I won't be able to speak about it anymore because the law will have changed everywhere." Which is so awesome, where most people just say, "Hey, I'm going to dedicate my life to this." They don't think, maybe I can solve this.
Yeah.
And you have the viewpoint of, I'm going to solve this. So there's going to become a point where this isn't going to be what I'm going to talk about. So I'm going to need something else to talk about. That is just so awesome. Such an inspiring, positive outlook on this.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's wonderful. And anybody watching this interview can feel your energy and your passion through their screen right now, and your joy for being able to make a difference. I love the line in your public service announcement where you say, "My brother Caleb wanted to make a difference in this world, and so now I'm making the difference for him."
Yep.
That is just a phenomenal tribute.
It's definitely how I feel, because he was the happiest person in the world. He was always like, when he had friends, he never let them be upset or sad or down. He always wanted them to feel like they had someone to come to, and I know he was going to change the world. And so, you know what? He's still changing the world now. I mean, it's not my story that I'm telling, it's his story. And just when I tell people who he was and what he stood for, that's what changes their mind, that he was such a personable person, that he was real. And he's gone. And that's what changes their mind. Not me, but his story. That's what changes their mind. So.
Well, your devotion, your passion, your incredibly positive energy, that is a big part of what's making a difference. That is what's connecting with your congressmen, your senators, MTV. People just meet you and they feel that about you, which is just so inspiring. So I want to thank you so much for sharing with everybody. I'm certainly probably going to want to have you on again, because you have so many experiences to share and lessons that people can learn from. Thank you very much, Alex.
Definitely. Anytime. Thank you for having me.
And what website can everybody go to learn more?
Well, I guess for the commercial, especially, itcanwait.com for AT&T is a great site to go to. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So.
All right, very cool. And I want everybody to notice that you have a website about your brother's law, but you did something with AT&T, and you moved everybody right there to AT&T, which I just want to share with everybody watching. That's really cool, because a lot of people would try to say, go to my website, and instead you get it. You get that AT&T has a broader reach right now, and you want people to watch that video, which is just awesome. So thank you very, very much.
Of course. Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.